Also, that's a very nice 7th Hour podcast mug I gave you.
That I specifically gave you.
Yeah,
The one you gave me in episode 2 is in my car, which we did not drive here. So I apologize.
It hasn't left your car since you were here.
No, it has been with me.
Oh, you take it into your car and drink your coffee out of a coffee mug.
Do you drink your coffee out of a coffee mug while you're driving?
To work, huh?
This is new information. Is that true?
No.
No, it hasn't left his car.
Correct.
It stayed in his Tesla's backseat.
No,
this entire time.
It's in the front on the
My
side.
father-in-law does that. He just drinks coffee out of a coffee mug.
That's
like
psychotic.
a baller.
I can't.
Like a baller.
I would never be.
He takes
able
a
to do
regular
that.
coffee mug and puts it
Does
in
he
his
just
car.
drive with one
What?
hand while the other one is just like bouncing to keep
That's
the coffee?
crazy.
Yeah, totally
And it's a
insane.
manual, right?
He does that with his elbow. He uses his elbow.
He's just got one hand
to
here,
shift.
pinky on the steering wheel, just shifting. That would be baller. I would respect that.
I've seen bowls and spoons
Oh my god.
in the car.
Come on.
He's one of those guys.
Like, I don't understand.
He just
I've
takes
done
his
that.
meal in the car.
Yes.
That's amazing.
But we love you, Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
We-
Jim.
oh my gosh. So you guys are rehearsing this weekend.
Yeah.
How's it been going so far?
Pretty great. We've been working with
Joe, care to comment?
I'm struggling vocally. But yeah, Joe is Joe's been working with us, and we've worked with Joe over the years, really. I mean, with the quartet, and it's been a great relationship. Joe has a really great ear for what we're doing and has a very clear picture of what people really enjoy about watching First Take.
Yeah.
And is authentic with us when we're hitting the nail on the head of finding the thing that people really like and doing it.
Yeah.
And he's authentic with us when we're doing something, taking a risk or making a choice that's like, that's not the thing people are looking for from you. That's a thing that you like about you.
Well,
I'm learning a lot about myself in this. This is great.
Wow.
he's also
No, but
pretty
it's helpful.
authentic when, it's just bad.
Right. Yeah. He's like, let's just do that again. It's
That's
not good.
That's not what you want.
Yeah.
But you got to have a coach that's willing to do that.
For sure.
I mean, that is a must-have. You can't have a cheerleader the whole time.
Yeah.
Tim, our coach Tim, he goes into we call him cheerleader Tim in the pattern. In the pattern, he is 100% cheerleader, making sure our heads are. But outside of that, he is brutal Tim.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
And Joe's not even brutal. It's just really straightforward, right? It's exactly where, like, hey, here's the thing that this is the highest tier thing right now. And usually it's either some musical choice that we're making that we've decided on already that we're just not doing.
Right.
Or like that musical choice is in the way of me experiencing this the way I'm experiencing the rest of it.
Right.
And then like, oh, that's just bad singing. It's out of tune or it's not.
Well,
Right.
coaching with Joe is very efficient because there's coaching with Joe is very efficient because when you have a new coach or a new relationship or somebody that's very thoughtful about how they're speaking to you, they might go, oh, that was let's check that. Might have a little. Joe's like that chord was
Joe's not very thoughtful.
that chord.
That cheerleader side of Tim does not exist in me at all.
That chord was just not right.
Garbage.
Do it again.
Yeah, but it's all
That's good.
right when you have personalities. You get a new coach in who just doesn't know how you take criticism. Then there's a carefulness there that just takes more time. Whereas we have that long-standing relationship with Joe, where he knows he can just be straightforward, and we're not going to get butthurt over it. And it's-
Yeah,
totally.
And he's not mean, and he's not mean about it. It's just
Right.
it's stuff that we want fixed. Like
We
that's why
we
he's
spent
here.
the whole
right?
opening of this episode just talking about Joe. Like he's not even here.
Can we change the topic?
Joe, so tell me more about Joe. Like, what's Joe like? Like outside of the.
He's a big dumb idiot.
R.I.P.
Well, but it does go to the point that like it is important that when you have coaches and it's, when a quartet is selecting coaches in general, not just talking about Joe.
Right.
Understanding each other and how you work together is important. It's an important
it's
part
crucial.
of the quartet dynamic.
100%.
And because we as a quartet don't get together very often, when we do, it's for a weekend and it's very frequently with a coach. So that's just an important relationship to have. It's not a one-off thing.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
that
I mean,
makes a big
I
difference.
imagine too that the relationship is even deeper because of the history you two have together.
I mean, Alex is the one that I've known the least. I mean, I've known Drew since
back before I was in the Mid-Atlantic District when I was in the Northeastern District. And then I only met Andrew a few years after Tony and I really started working together. So I've known the three of them for a while. So it often doesn't feel like coaching as much as it feels like babysitting a little bit. But, Alex is a guy who just really wants direct feedback. He does not want, he doesn't, want any of the fluff. He just wants, give me what I got to do. So that's I really enjoy working that way, which is why I don't coach quartets all that much because I don't like
having to tiptoe.
It feels like
I don't like having to
confrontation
tiptoe,
sometimes.
right?
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, depends on the kind of quartet you're coaching and where they kind of are in their quartet journey. Like it changes how we as coaches have to interact with them a little bit,
Right?
Because I certainly wouldn't coach a quartet who's still trying to find their identity, who's still probably pretty fragile and vulnerable in this thing called barbershop.
Oh, they're fragile and vulnerable.
Some more than others.
But I wouldn't coach them the same way I would coach an A-level quartet that's really trying to shoot for a win, and that's and you need guys like that who are willing to just take it straight on the chin and say, I want to get better, because that's really the only way you progress at this level. And the increments of growth are so much smaller at this level. Like when you're in the 60s and 70s level, like the aha moments are big. They're awesome, huge jumps, and they feel great, and you can see immediate changes. At this level, I mean, when we're talking about singing at a 90 versus a 92, the increments and the tweaks are so much more minuscule, but they have such a huge impact, and it takes so much more work and so much more willingness to be vulnerable and to let your ego check at the door and take that kind of straightforward criticism. So
the other side of our coachings with Joe is that we have a very difficult time staying on task. Because
no way.
There are some times where things go off the rails,
Like meows.
like at Alex's meows.
Alex's meows.
And Joe was trying to describe one of my vocal idiosyncrasies this weekend in our new ballad, and he was like, "You're kind of putting your hand out, like you're singing out like the side of your mouth, and you're going like."
He was making fun of you, basically.
And it was on the word house.
And I was like, "Oh, like." And it was over.
I honestly didn't even mean that to be funny. I was really trying to explain to Tony that he wasn't staying on the target vowel.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he was kind of moving. And as
so I
Tony
said
already said, he's dealing with some vocal issues.
Yeah,
so it was clear. I mean, Tony's such an amazing lead, but Tony goes,
We're very off topic.
He moved his mouth to one side and he wasn't staying on the target vowel, and I said it sounds like you're saying how.
and then I said it back to him, and he heard how it sounded.
We lost about 30 minutes.
Oh my god!
Easily.
We kept trying to come back in and just
Well, we couldn't start there.
Yeah.
Right.
And the house.
Honestly, the next time you did it, we all just
lost it.
Lost it. Andrew specifically.
And in order to give ourselves a vocal break last night, we watched Super Troopers.
Yes.
In honor of the meow.
Just laughing for 2 hours straight is a great vocal rest.
right. Yeah, that's actually the problem with this morning.
Right.
Man.
So
Except that Tony slept through it, so we can't blame laughter on.